from all, to all, with all, for all, through all. We thank the gods of creation. We thank the ancestors. We thank the forces of nature. And we thank the earth. We thank them for their direction, their protection, their guidance, for keeping us, showing us, allowing us to know and enjoy life to its fullest, now and later.
Black people who once loved with the slow march of time. Time was ours to hold in the soft, low-born chambers of our hearts. And was we, the Afro mommies and daddies of a sun world, would turn our strands of hair into antennas to tune in the juju madness and syncopated love rhythms of Africa. And we loved with time, and we took the time to love, and with the right time we loved, and we loved time after time. Will we ever love again? Will we ever love again? Will we really ever love again? Or will we just sit and rot away with the brighter tomorrows in the skag field, rat-cluttered halls of our minds?
Black people, what y'all gonna do? Black people, what y'all gonna do?
Will the real black people please stand up?
Jumbo Habari, and welcome once again to Our Story, the program that makes being black positive, relevant, desirable, and true to a lost nation in America. A program that speaks to the historical significance of the original people of the earth. Our Story Network takes pride in setting itself away from other programs that centers on entertainment or rhetorical mumbo-jumbo that misdirects your attention onto other things that causes you to exhaust your resources and renders you brain dead. It is Our Story who talks about commitment to you and your people. It is Our Story that champions the reestablishment of the black genius that once ruled the world. It is Our Story that focuses you in on the rewards of black advocacy, black activism, black involvement, and black power. It is Our Story that encourages survival of the black race and solicits your involvement to that end. Black folks must remember, race first is the call of the day, and we as a people must, I say must take the pledge if we, the people of the original race, expect to survive. As I take the many lessons I have received over the years and reflect upon them by sharing these lessons with my brothers and sisters, I realize the power that we as a people possess for the most part has gone unnoticed. The masses of black folks who have been rendered lost and disenfranchised from the meaning and mission our creators intended for us to embrace is all but depleted. It is because of the mission and meaning of the life of our ancestors that I realized how blessed as black people we really are. What fascinates me are the many gifts I have been granted, which allows me to distribute the information onward to you. As always, that message begins and ends with the importance of blackness. Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Greetings, family, comrades, family, the inquisitive onlookers, and our beloved viewers. Welcome, welcome, and welcome to Our Story Network. We thank you for being with us this evening, and we trust you will take something of value away with you after the program. That is the aim and goals of Our Story Network, the network that leads the pack in modern-day communications and ancient and modern education. I say ancient and modern education because of the many errors we have found in the translations and interpretations of ancient records by forces who are not interested in black progress. The modern revelations by new black scholars have opened the window of discovery that has allowed the truth and knowledge originally disseminated by the black masters of education to flourish once again. This is one of the stumbling blocks that has kept black people from rebuilding their greatness and recapturing their birthright. Good evening, brothers and sisters, and welcome to Our Story. The last week was one of those weeks where everything came up smelling like roses. That is because of the fine work of Angela Allen Bell, director of the Louis A. Berry Institute for Civil Rights and Justice at Southern University Law Center and Southern University at New Orleans, SUNO, Center for African and African American Studies Department, and the Millie M. Charles School of Social Work, all to celebrate the work of one Malik Rahim, a man who has engaged himself during his tenure as a political activist and social justice advocate. The mood was festival, and the environment was one of a family reunion posed in the hearts of a well-knit communal setting. My personal observations can be described as the coming forth of the nation. I was reminded of the meetings I used to attend in the late 50s and 60s where black men and were men and where black women were women, where black unity was the name of the game and the reason for the season, where no one was confused as to their identity or their commitment to blackness, a time when manners were a given and respect was worn on the chest as a piece of jewelry, a day when the mission was clear and the nights were full of anticipated freedom. Yes, this celebration was one for the record books. And for the record book, a commemorative copy brought back to life the publication, the Black Panther Black Community News, the official newspaper of the Black Panther Party. This January 17th, 2019 edition featuring Malik Rahim's Living Legend celebration. This is surely a copy that will go down in history as a one-of-a-kind, rare collectible, as it should be, from the work and sacrifices Malik has given and has made. It would only be natural for a leader of his magnitude to be honored this way. But back at the ranch, where the business of the day was to remember the days of old when young men were standing up for the rights of black people, struggling for the power as a people who were thought to be free. To demonstrate this, people from far and near, high and low, came to celebrate, to honor a man who has given his life for the betterment of others. In attendance were people like Dr. George Amity, Sonny Patterson, Dr. Lisa Mins Devizan, Dr. John K. Pierre, Dr. Evelyn Harrell, Dr. Angela Allen Bell, President of the Republic of New Africa, General Rico Forbes, Muhammad Amen, Sister Mariama Curry, Brother Trent Smith, Associate Professor Joshua B. Gill, Brother Robert King, Brother Lamont Simmons, artist Charlie Vaughn, Brother Albert Woodfox, Big Chief Victor Harris, and an endless list of friends and supporters who are too numerous to name in the time allotted here at our story. To add color to the excitement, I want you to experience some of the flair of that evening. Presenting Professor Josh Gill from Princeton University.
We're only up to 1976 by my count. There's a lot that happens between 1976 and part 3, 2006, after Katrina. I can't do it justice, but there's a few things I do want to point out very quickly. Before I get to that, very quickly, let me say that I've known Malik now for about a decade. I come to New Orleans from New York City. In fact, I flew this morning from New York City because there's nowhere I would rather be than to be here with you, Malik. And I've been in conversation with Malik for the last decade. I am a professor of African American history at Princeton. I have fancy degrees from fancy schools. I've been to many wonderful institutions, but this is my greatest teacher right here. And I've been fortunate to sit with him on his porch and in his living room and drive around in a car, learning about the history of his family and his commitment to struggle and to this community. So a couple things just to point out from where we are in 1976 to bring it up to the 21st century. In Northern California, he worked as a community organizer, organizing public housing tenants. He joined the Green Party and started his struggle in the struggle for environmental justice.
To illustrate the progress a revolutionary can bring to the social order of any society, Dr. Evelyn Harrell, Dean of the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences at SUNO.
It's absolutely a privilege and an honor to spend this evening honoring a living legend. And I say that because we're now living in a society where groups might extend an invitation to honor someone, but the integrity of the honoree looks at the background of that invitation and may say no. So we thank you for allowing us to honor you at Southern University at New Orleans. We are growing. Sometimes a man...
To culminate the friendship with community responsibility, President General Rico Forbes from the Republic of New Africa brings a message of brotherhood and love to a comrade in the struggle.
Free the land.
By any means necessary. My brother Athos, surprised me, didn't know I'd be coming up here. We were sitting at the table last night and he was talking about, like the idea that, people who are expressing their views, instead of putting it on paper, should be directly told to him. But I got it on paper this time. To me, it seems like a letter to a comrade, My name is General Rico Forbes. First, good evening. I am President of the Republic of New Africa. I am indeed honored to be a part of the Living Legend Award celebration. celebrating the life of Malik Rahim, my brother, my comrade in the Black Panther Party, my brother from another mother, and my lifelong friend.
Yes, indeed.
As kids growing up in Algiers, neighborhood of New Orleans, Malik being a bit older than I, understood at an early age, at a very early age, that there will be a light at the end of the tunnel. When darkness cloud appeared in the sky, he pointed out that it will be only temporary, that the darkness will soon pass and the sun will break through. And he has always been that sunshine for me. He knew, just as friends help each other, protect each other, and stood by each other, the same must be applied to our community and our people. From that young boy, he grew into a man of moral integrity, with an ambitious character and a selfless spirit. Malik's moral integrity goes without saying. Being honest, the accuracy of his action by taking responsibility and credibility. His loyalty put his personal needs last. His vision and turning those ideas into action. His ability to always do the right thing, no matter what the consequences. Malik's selfless spirit can be witnessed in his utter devotion to others and his warm heartedness towards all people. A man's ability may be greater or small, but if he has this spirit, he is already noble-minded and pure. Every brother and sister can learn from him. Malik's character can be best defined by the quotation of the Red Book, which as Panthers understand.
Yes.
Dare to struggle, dare to win. As we all know, where there is struggle, there is sacrifice, and often death is a common occurrence. Malik has sacrificed so much of himself, his time, and his resources, and I am so glad he is still here to be recognized for his unwavering dedication to his community and to his people. All power to the people.
All power to the people.
Free the land.
Free the land.
By any means necessary.
By any means necessary.
I love you, brother.
All right.
To bring a full, well-rounded report of this rare event, I have asked Sister Tu to share her thoughts with us tonight. Sister Tu, it was great to see you last Friday evening, along with many others who packed the Millie M. Charles School of Social Work. Sister Tu, give us your involvement in our community before you give us your impressions of the Living Legend Award. Sister Tu?
Good evening, everyone. It was good seeing you too, Baba, on Friday. So, my background, I hate talking about myself. So I've been an activist for a very, very, very long time. For, I don't even know, just forever, it seems like. And I'll be 46 this year, so it seems like forever I've been in this fight. But as an adult, meeting you all, a lot of elders, over 20 years ago. So I started my adult life as an activist, because as a kid we grew up in this work. But as an adult in my young 20s, working with you and Baba Malik and Mama Assad and all these amazing, amazing elders, sitting at their feet and learning all this information from them as an adult, because it is different from when you're doing the work as a child. And you know, I was a member growing up through Tambourine and Fan, and my mom, my grandmother, and my great uncle who's transitioned were all activists. My great uncle was one of Big Duck's best friends, and so. You know, it's very different when you grow up as a child doing that, and then you go off and do what what young people do, and then come back into it. Kind of like Malcolm. You know, people start his activism at the Nation of Islam, but he was born into this. His parents were Garveyites, and you know, he went on and learned worldly things, and as we know, that helped him to be able to be grounded and talk to regular people. You know. And so, and gain that respect in that way. So, on every front, whether it was education, whether we were changing the name of schools, or we were shutting down stores in the community because they were not rightfully serving our people, you know, just did all that, and I learned a great deal from you all with doing that. Being a member of the Angola 3 Coalition, and then national, just like Blackout Arts Collective, working with Critical Resistance, although that's another story, because I stand with Baba Rochelle Sinkay McGee, and for all who don't know that story, you need to look into that, and then you might have another perspective as well. But yeah, so coming into that, and then you know, and being able to travel. As an artist and an activist, an artist who used my art form for social justice and working on a lot of political prisoners' campaigns and getting to know them on a personal level. So everybody from Sundiata Akoli to Kamal Siddiqui, who's Asada's daughter's father, even working with her daughter and son-in-law in Chicago on a Hands Off Atlanta campaign, working with Fred Hampton Jr., his family. So all of these amazing people, I can honestly say, have had an influence on my life and helping me to grow as an activist in our greater community. And then coming, living in Atlanta, got married, had kids, and then coming back home and finding this disarray still exists.
Yes, it's here.
And trying to, first, taking it slow, kind of watching, observing, and then coming back into the work and kind of seeing that. And that shows my age and maturity, not just jumping back in, but kind of watching and seeing what's going on first and then coming back in, because I have children now, and so wanting to ease them into it and expose them to certain things at the right time to be involved as young people in this movement as well. So that's pretty much me. Of course, end up, going to school and, on that end and, getting all these degrees and stuff or whatever, and learning how to work inside that system for our betterment, but always still holding steadfast to the stuff I learned as a grassroots activist. Yep.
Very good. All right. What were your impressions from last Friday?
Oh my God. All I can hear in my head is Baba Malik saying that I won't believe it till it happens. I've been hearing this for decades, that somebody gonna do something, and I used to get my hopes up high and I just stopped because it never happened. And so getting there to help Baba Clyde Robinson set up and, getting the food together and all of that, and serving the food and seeing Baba Malik come in, and it still hadn't registered with him quite fully yet. Like he's in there and he's talking to people, and for him it's just like a normal thing. And then, he's shaking hands, and I'm watching him the whole while. I went up to him, I said, I'm gonna feed you first, got his food, and it's just, for him, it's just regular. I think when it clicked with him was when the babies lined up.
Yeah.
To escort him in. Yeah. He didn't know about that. That was a surprise. And you could see the joy in his face. Yeah. He smiled from ear to ear, and I said, they got him. That's it right now. Now it's
they chanted his name.
Yes.
When they were coming in.
Yes. And changing that old Panther chant and spoke directly to him. it filled his spirit, and you saw that, and you felt that, coming in. And I was trying to be quiet while they were saying. I'm recording because my babies were a part of it, and I hear myself on a record. I'm singing down, and I'm so excited for him because it was so well deserved, and absolutely we could talk about it's been, deserved, but it takes certain people, and a special group of people, to recognize, and not just recognize and acknowledge it, but say it's time to make this happen for him. We got to do this.
Yes.
And to come out the door with somebody like him, who has done all of this great and amazing work for decades, says a lot about both of the Southerns. Nobody else did this. No other HBCU stepped up. No other university in this city or state. That school, that system, who people try to push to the side and tease about being a 13th grade and all of that, they stepped up for our Bible. They recognized that, and I applaud them for doing that. And to put that smile on his face, seeing his family, his friends, his comrades, his loved ones, even people who probably don't even like him, just came to see. Still, you got to see why we appreciate him so much and why he is still so necessary in this movement, where he takes his rightful place as an elder who can guide those of us who are still in this work. So I was definitely pleased with everything. And when he got up and spoke, you could still, you feel a fire. You saw the fire. And he's, like he always is, if you've ever spoke with him, very blunt, very direct. He don't pull no punches. Like, he appreciated getting all the accolades. He was like, this not gonna pay my bills. And that's being honest. I'm saying the same thing. Like, I definitely appreciate the city, and they all signed this thing, but I'm like, that come with a check, Like, we talking about our Bible not having running water, and that's something that I've been putting out on Facebook for months. That's a problem for me. That he doesn't have that. Like he said, that being an activist doesn't come with a retirement fund.
Man, that's right.
It doesn't. It doesn't come with any of those things. And we, as a community, have to remember that. Him, you, Baba Malcolm Suba, all of these amazing elders, they still, like, I called him some months ago and I said, what you doing? He said, getting ready to go to work. I said, what? Yeah, I got to go do some roofing work. I said, you mean that somebody can work on your roof? And he said, no, I'm about to go do it. And I was like, no, you're not. No, this has to stop.
Yeah.
At 71, you can't be getting on nobody's roof. Like,
I'm telling you.
No,
I'm telling you.
And that says a lot about what we need to do now. Moving forward, there's no excuse for people to say that I didn't know. Because whether you're hearing it here, whether you heard him speak at the event, whether you saw somebody put it on Facebook, whatever, now there's no excuse for that. And I am really commissioning for the mayor to, if you're looking or have one of your people looking, to bring that water bill to zero and just be done with it.
Yeah.
Just be done with it.
Yeah, because, he's worked too hard and too long. They need to do something.
Yeah.
They really do.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is we're going to open up the lines for anyone that wants to get in on the conversation. I want to go to a clip that I have with just to show some of the entertainment that they had there, so you can get a taste of what we enjoyed there. Would you run that, please?
Congo, we do like that. 1, 2, everybody. Come on. say Mira.
Mira.
And if you went to the Congo, they call it's two names. You have the first one is Kisansi.
Kisansi.
The second one, Likembe.
Likembe.
There you go. This song is about friendship. Black people need to have a friendship to each other, among each other. We need to talk to one another. Want to say that the problem for African people, because we don't have a dialogue, we hate each other, we don't trust each other, until we look at each other in the eye and tell what it is. Because I heard when I first come to America, they say African American don't like an African. Then I heard that African don't like an African American. Why? We never ask her why. Come together and they ask each other why. It's only us going to tell the truth.
I just wanted to give you just a little taste of what we enjoyed last Friday. But I want to emphasize two things that the brother said. The first one was black people need to be friends with each other. And the second one is, why aren't we asking the question why blacks don't like each other? Be that blacks in America or blacks in Africa. Why is it we have a problem with our family? We don't ask that question. We don't do anything to examine the problems that are forced on us.
Yes. And I was getting ready to say, why do we even allow others to even tell us there's a problem between each other? I remember when I lived in Chicago, we were working with, we were getting ready to do a workshop or something, and one of the professors, I think it was at Ida B. Wells, I can't remember, but one of the professors came and said, I have a group of students from South Africa that are here and they want to they heard Fred Hampton was here, so they wanted to come up. So he said, let them come up. So, Fred spoke, I spoke, and one of the sisters raised her hand. I said, yes, and she said, sister, when are y'all coming home? And I had the biggest smile on my face, and she said, and she started crying. She said, I'm serious. She said, because we have to stop letting people divide us and say that we don't like each other. She said, we've been here a week, and people have been saying that y'all don't like us, and so we don't like you. She said, that's just foolishness.
Well, I learned this a long time ago, back in the 60s. I used to interact with African students back then, and I was traveling around the country. And I was told by a number of African students coming in here that the CIA and the State Department would tell them that we were dangerous and we did not like them, so they should not go into the communities where blacks are or where they live. And what got me was they absorbed that. They figured that was for their own protection.
Yes.
And in interacting with them, I used to take them with me all the time, and they had a ball.
Yeah.
And they wanted to know, well, why are we I said, because they don't, if you realize what they're doing, this is national security.
Yeah.
Because if we're here in America, blacks in America are able to communicate with blacks in Africa and dispel the myths that they have been telling us, we can come together and they're in serious trouble, both here on the continent.
That's right. We can finally see Marcus Garvey's plan.
Yes, exactly.
Come into the fold, come into play. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. And I remember H.R. Brown, General Amin, said in a book that, just basically that this is what happens when you don't control the narrative.
Yes.
We have to stop allowing them to dictate that. Tell them over there this and showing us something else over here. They showing them like we living high off the hog, and they showing us like they just in despair, And so for us, we don't want to go there, and for them, it's looking like we forgot about them, And that's the distorted story that has been being told forever. And like he said, nobody asks why.
Exactly. No one asks why. And that's to our detriment. But it's not just for that question. There are very few questions black people ask about anything.
Right.
They take the word of our oppressor and our enemy as being the gospel.
Yes, absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. I can remember talking to somebody about that years ago, because that's, like you said, Barbara, that's been a thing. They don't like us, that's been a thing. And I remember telling, I said, yes, chattel slavery we know is the most horrific thing that ever happened to a people. I said, so imagine those who were not taken, who were not kidnapped, but had to be there and be oppressed in their own homes, right there.
Yes.
Imagine what they went through. We keep forgetting that they weren't free. They just didn't take them. They weren't free. They became oppressed right there. I say, imagine you being a Muslim, and you invite somebody into your house. People know that you're a Muslim, so you don't eat certain things, and they come into your house with a pig and gonna cook it in your house, knowing you don't eat that.
Yeah.
That's how they felt.
Yeah.
So we forget that. Nobody's processing. I said, they in their minds, they may be thinking, why didn't we come back? And in our minds, we thinking, why didn't you come get me? And I said, I could take that better than I can take that we don't like each other.
Right, exactly.
Because that's not the case.
It's not. It's
you know, that's it's not that. Those are our people. And every time I hear people that go there, it does something different to them, because you're home and you are welcomed, and so we have to be more in tune with that. I wanted to make a correction, Barbara, too, something that Professor Joshua Gill said, and when he said it at the event, I was like, that's not right. So when he just said it here on the clip, I wrote it down. He said that Award-Malik had been involved, with the movement since 1976, and that's incorrect.
Oh no, it's been before then. Yeah,
yes.
It's in the 60s when he started.
Yes, absolutely. So I wanted to kind of correct that for people who may have saw that clip and thought that that it wasn't until 76. No, that's wrong information.
There's no way he could have been arrested in 71 if he had waited till then.
Yes, and been in the shootouts and everything.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, but it's good that we have people coming in from other states to share their exposure and involvement with Brother Malik over the years, so that the people here will know that Malik wasn't just a local entity.
That's right.
But an international entity.
That's right.
I mean, this man is known all over the world, believe it or not.
Yes, he is.
You know?
Yes, he is. And responsible, like I love when Baba King spoke. For those who don't know, Robert King was a member of the Angola 3, the only recognized prison faction of the Black Panther Party. And he came on. He was the last one to come on, and it was 4. And then I forgot the brother's name who dropped off, and Baba King's remained. But when he said that if it wasn't for Baba King, there would not have been an Angola 3. And people don't know that he, along with Mama Marion, came up with the name, but he told them that this is who you are, and brought that together. And then they sounded the alarm for people to know that these brothers are in solitary confinement, for their political beliefs and actions and organizing inside of the notorious Angola prison camp, which is the largest prison in the world, and houses more black men than and the law has allowed it. And so people don't know that's a gigantic deal. And as we know, the Angola 3 had become well known all over the world, in every part of the world, the planet, and that started here with Baba Malik signing all along for people to get involved.
I think who you were thinking about and trying to remember is Muhammad Amin, also known as Steve Green. I believe he's the one that pointed it out and talked about it that night. And it was good because you had so many minds there that if they missed something, somebody else picked it up and took it to the next level. Yes, I'm telling you.
Sharp minds, too. You're talking about people who have seen and done so much, and they still remember like it was yesterday.
Exactly. And we've had Robert King on. We've talked to him many times. Robert was rather short because he said this was for Malik, and he was short and to the point. But it was good because they have a type of friendship that I think few of us really understand. The Angola 3, man, through Malik, they were very helpful and very involved in the recovery after Katrina.
Absolutely.
And they were in solitary confinement.
Yep.
There's so much that can be said about the work that has gone on in this city, and people, until Friday, activists, the ones they want to call troublemakers, the militants, they weren't recognized for anything at all.
And that's the beauty of it, because now, in my mind, you know, now you got to really come with it. You know, like, Bob Malik set the stage for it. Like, now who do you go get the top dance?
Yeah,
you know,
right,
like
right.
You got a heavy hitter, you know, that you honor out the gate. So now who is next?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, who you going to get, you know, now? And so I can't wait to see that, because you are truly paying homage to revolutionaries.
Exactly.
And that's a big difference from, you know, and it's not taking anything away from, you know, local organizing, anything like that, but there's a difference.
Yes, there is.
There's a difference.
Because
revolutionaries really lay they life on the line. Like we would say back in the day, if an activist would go 9 yards, the revolutionary gonna go 10.
Yeah.
You know, the revolutionary gonna stand in front of the activists.
Yes,
you know,
indeed.
it doesn't
That's
take
true.
away from anybody's work, but understanding what it means to be, you know, a revolutionary really mean that, you know, as much as I would like to live, I am willing to put my life on the line. I'm willing to sacrifice myself for for my people, and many of them have done exactly that. Whether they have been assassinated or whether they're still here, like Baba Malik, and being denied certain things, certain comforts that he should be experiencing right now, especially at his age, that he isn't receiving, because you all still see him as a threat, as opposed to recognizing that you wouldn't have a lot of the comforts you enjoy because without the work that him and so many of his brothers and sisters were able to do.
Well, you know, and in that same vein, I look at the SAFE organizations, and one that comes into mind is the Democratic Party. And why do I say that? Because the Democratic Party in the late 60s and early 70s and continues till this day have taken the Panthers 10-point program and put it into political arenas and have taken credit for a lot of the relief that the Panther Party is responsible for.
Like the free breakfast program, and even though they still ain't all the way free in the school system, but that was them.
Yeah.
That was them doing that.
Yes.
And our kids didn't get anything like they get in the school. They got real food.
You know, I'm going to say this. I always get in trouble when I say this, because we, especially here in New Orleans, do not realize and understand, number one, the power of a organized, unified people.
That's right.
And I'm speaking about the problems that we are having with our school system. Do you know and realize that we have parents who are complaining about the schools but refuse to do anything about it, with the exception of embracing the vote as being the way that they can resolve this problem? When the truth of the matter is, each child receives X amount of dollars that goes to the public school system every year. If the parents are fed up, all they have to do is organize alternative schools, pull the children out of the public system, the parochial system, as well as the private system, and use these alternative schools to be that stopgap measure so the education can continue.
Right.
And they're afraid to do that.
And demand that those resources go with them. Because that's
Exactly.
our money.
That's right.
Those are taxpayers' dollars.
That's right.
And demand that money follows that
The
child.
child.
Wherever we say we want our kids to be schooled, whatever system we decide, that money should follow them.
That is true. We have the fastest hour in television, and we're just about at that time. I want to thank you for coming in this evening.
Thank you for having me.
I want to extend an open invitation to you to, make this your home away from home when you get ready. I want to share with our audience, because you do a Tuesday co-host with Chuck. I do a Monday. And from what I'm understanding, that's going to be shut down at least for a month until they get things straightened out over there. So there's going to be a lot of reruns going on. So I want people to know that you're going to hear a lot of reruns, with the exception of Oliver in the morning.
Yeah.
So just get yourself ready for that, folks, and let you know there. The other thing is, I want to remind you about our story, The Original Holocaust, which is available at the Community Book Center on Bayou Road. It's also available at the Wayne's World in Sons, which is on St. Claude. And it's also available across the river at, I've got to find that for you, the proper name for it anyway, which is Educator's Delight, 3501 Holiday Drive, Suite 405. Bayou Road is 2523, and St. Claude is 2255. And tell you to check it out. If you haven't already, stop by, pick up a copy, because it has a lot of information you will not find anywhere else, and that's guaranteed. Do you have any parting words for us, sister?
I want to touch back on the education piece that we were talking about a minute ago, and even bring the teachers into the fold. When we look at what's been going on around the country with the education system as a whole, Chicago, students, parents, and teachers alike on strike, and now California
Is on there.
on strike, and teachers and parents, and you even have some entertainers backing them up.
We need to pick up on that and organize here and do the same
That
thing
was
here.
my point.
We're at the end of our time, and I want to thank you again, sister. I want to thank you, brothers and
Thank you,
sisters,
Papa
for
West.
tuning in, and remind you can pick us up on YouTube and Vimeo. There's the contacts for you to reach on Vimeo and YouTube. If you want to email me or call me, the number's there as well. So, brothers and sisters, it's been a beautiful evening, and I'm going to tell you, I enjoyed every minute of it. We want to tell you, stay strong, stay black, but by all means, stay committed to blackness. Yahoro Sasa Umgawa.
With the harmony of liberty, let our rejoicing rise high as listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us, facing the rising sun of our
Yo, before Dr. Dre, there was Dr. James, welding cords around a copper frame. We sing songs not for the accolades, to lift voices like a helicopter blade. High in the listening skies, my eyes glisten and tears drop down like rain. Not from the pain, from the joy of how far we came. My brainstorms are designed to celebrate our reign. The collective, monuments erected, continents affected, presidents elected, ancestors making moves with the music we've been blessed with. We use it to keep communities connected. Through harmonies, a harmony is collected. Reaping the fruits our foremothers invested. Lift every voice till freedom has manifested. Come on, yeah. Lift every voice till freedom has manifested. Come on, listen. Lift every voice till freedom has manifested. Come on.
Sing a song, full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song, full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun.
Facing the rising sun.
Of our new day begun.
It's a new day.
Let us march on till victory is won. Till victory is
This is
won.
victory music. Come on, I hope you feel it.